Hello, it's me, Pavlo, and I've got for you a noise cancelling daily dose of Ukrainian accent. Today we are going to talk about pretty new headphones. It's a Bluetooth model. If I remember correctly, they were announced last November or December, and I really wanted to review them since that moment. Because, for me, the most interesting models are from the budget segment. Of course, the different flagship with multi-thousand dollars prices are great. They have great performance. But for me, to find something like below $100 is always much more interesting. That's why today we are going to talk about Final Audio UX1000. It's their full-size Bluetooth headphones with active noise cancelling, long work time, and they cost like $60 or $70, which in my opinion is a pretty great price, and I have a really high expectations for them. So let's check it out. As you can see, package is pretty simple and minimalistic, just white cardboard with headphones photo, and here we can see what Final Audio consider main features of these headphones. Hybrid active noise cancelling, it's mainly working for the mids and low frequencies, but doing its job pretty decent. Of course, it's not state-of-the-art ANC, but it reduces low frequency rumbles like engines, air conditioners, part of street noise, and without introducing that effect of vacuum on your ears. Not that good with high frequencies noises, but in this case I suspect it was a decision that Final Audio followed. Up to 70 hours of work time, and that's true. So without active noise cancelling, I've got more than 65 hours. And with ANC, about 35 hours, which I consider a pretty good figures. And multi-point connection, so nice thing to have. Just to connect to two devices, and it works. And inside everything is also super simple. Just manual and the plastic tray with headphones on it. Design is pretty simple. It's not something shiny or striking. Headphones created with street wearing in mind, and they are made mainly of plastic with some nice folks leather, but Final Audio put extra efforts into doing everything. For example, it's a soft touch plastic here, but at the same time it's not almost resistant to fingerprints. When I had really greasy fingers, I managed to put few fingerprints here, but they were easy to wipe. They are lightweight, and thanks to the proper clamping force and nice soft padding on the headband, the weight is distributed really well. So there is a bit of metal here in the headband, but it's more of exception. It's mainly plastic. But they reinforced the headband to make it more resistant. They are really nice in wearing. They provide good fit. Cups have 2 degrees of freedom. They can be rotated flat, so you can carry headphones on your neck, and they can be folded inside, which is a great option for the everyday headphones you carry with you. So this part that holds cups made really well. Cups themselves are just plastic. Earpads are hybrid, which is pretty nice. They are not huge, so still battery is not working properly in my calipers, but we still can read the numbers here. So 60 millimeters and 40 millimeters, and in depth, just rough estimation, kind of, let's consider it 20. So average sized earpads, my ears fit inside pretty well, but probably with big ears there could be some issues, but I am not sure. So for me, nice wearing comfort. But of course, you'll get ears overheating, typical for closed back headphones, but it's just the price we pay for the noise cancelling and noise isolation. All controls are made with buttons, so 3 buttons for playback control, on off, pairing, and stuff like that, and one separate button for the ANC control. They all are clicky, really tactile, and they are easy to find, so really good, simple but ergonomic control schema, even if you're wearing gloves, for example, or something like that. And here is USB Type-C for charging and LED indicator that shows different status information. They hold connection really well, I must admit. So even with zones with lot of Wi-Fi and interference, they hold connection pretty reliably. And also I like that delay with video is pretty low. I was able to get it with a spatial test, but during regular video watching, it's not an issue. So delay is present if you're critical for that, but it's not big to be a deal breaker for regular usage, at least in my opinion. Here is a traditional microphone test. I'm recording this part of the video with headphones on my head using their built-in microphone. I won't apply here any gain correction or equalization, so this part will give you an idea about their microphone sound. Another area where Final Audio deserves great respect is their attitude towards the sound, because there are a lot of things that differs the most affordable model and the more expensive ones, like this one is limited only to SBC and AAC codecs. No companion app and some other things, but at the same time they actually put a lot of effort into tuning these headphones, and they didn't limit them artificially in terms of sound. Here we getting their signature representation with pretty natural mids and high frequencies, and slightly accented bass to make sound tastier. They are really proud with their sound and tuning. They do everything in-house. They have a big research lab and own manufacturing. So sound here is really nice. Of course, it's not flagship level, but still for this price, it's a really enjoyable headphones if you want more technicality and less coloration. Of course, if you want something bass heavy, skull crushing, you need to go like for GBL or something like that. Here you'll get another type of tuning, more, let's name it, audiophilic. So bass is accented, but not too much. It's accented both in terms of quantity, you're getting a bit of extra warmth and weight, but not too much. And also it slightly focuses on the punches and fast transitions, like some rumble and deep notes. Depth is pretty nice, but they are not dominating with the deepest bass, so overall it sounds pretty natural. Not natural, but still with a good sense of realism. Nice texturing, proper attacks and decays. There is a slight coloration of lower mids because of the bass weight, but still bass control is nice and it stays at its place. And as an example, I've selected Metallica's Enter Sandman, because here we have a really nice bass guitar, we have really strong punches of the floor drum, and or it's not punches, it's kicks probably in the case of floor drum, and all that is really highlighted, but at the same time percussions, vocal, guitars sound also pretty nice and aggressive. Mid frequencies are detailed. A bit of extra weight on lower mids doesn't hide the detalization, but at the same time they are not focused on the micro contrast. So overall, nice balanced dynamic signature with good emotions and macro dynamics, and pretty nice micro contrast, but still vast majority of things will depend on quality of material. So with good, well-recorded things, you'll get nice vocal, saturated instruments, and at the same time, they won't be over-aggressive at the upper mids area. Maybe it would be nice to have some kind of equalizer for these headphones, but probably Final Audio decided that for this model, it's just stick to their basic tuning, and that basic tuning is pretty enjoyable. And as an example, it's Frank Sinatra, Fly Me to the Moon, and the vocal sounds really nice, velvety, saturated, emotional, masterful, and as well as accompanying instruments and overtones for them. And speaking of overtones, actually high frequencies are also well tuned here. They are not forward, but they are always present. They are not sharp, but at the same time not lacking right good amount in terms of energy. Extension is slightly above average, not by much, so don't expect super advanced overtones or rich layering, but we're speaking about like $60-70 headphones here, so for this price, treble here is also nice. It gives you basic overtones, it gives you airness, crispness, and at the same time, they don't sound too shouty or overly sharp. So, and example here will be Money by Pink Floyd, that signature intro part with all that coins and cash registers have they all have a lot of overtones in the high frequency area, and all that dingling sounds are really nice. They are sharp as they should be, but not overdone. And also in the main part, you getting all overtones well represented and nicely present. So, honestly, I can't do here any comparisons. I haven't tested properly like other affordable models in this segment. Probably their closest competitors will be JBL, maybe Anker, at least on our market, but I didn't do comparisons. But overall, I can say that this headphones offers great value. Nice design, well built, pretty decent active noise cancelling, long work time, and most importantly, well thought and well executed sound tuning, and all that for less than $100. I think these headphones makes much more sense than a lot of mass market brands. Thank you for listening, thank you for your attention, and of course have a great day.